Hello, hello. My name is Mads. Welcome to the Mandess Trilogy Show. I'm today's host. Today I'm here with my co-hosts, Justin and Ethan. Say hi, guys.
Hello,
Hello, hello.
hello.
Welcome to the Mandess Trilogy Show. This show, we're going to have a real particular goal. Our idea goal is that we want to talk about things that we find interesting of a topic, like movies, TV shows, random cool things that have happened throughout the day, or anything, honestly, that's in our minds that we want to talk about. If you want to sit back and enjoy the show and support us, please do by liking and subscribing and maybe see upcoming future videos that we're going to be making. But before we start, I should be a little honest with you guys. This isn't our first attempt at making the podcast at all. At all. We had troubling at the beginning and also some recording problems, but we got that fixed now. So hopefully this will be out and we can see you guys give us your honest opinions along the show. But if you ever the title of the show, we are going to be talking about this upcoming film that came out not so long ago, Fantastic Four, Marvel's new and first superhero family coming to life. So that's the topic we're going to be talking about today. Each of us are going to have our own opinions, thoughts, and idea of what the film is really like and so on. And you can get to hear us what we think about upcoming projects of future for Marvel and other plans they have in the future. But before we can start, why not we do a little small talk, everybody? So, what's been new with you guys?
Just saw the Fantastic Four again with you.
Yeah, we did. We actually We'll tell a little funny story about why we had to go rewatch it actually. But anything news going on with you guys lately?
Not much really. It's just been just the average routine. Just going to the gym, just driving around and all that. So,
True.
the best you could really do. But I do want to see Fantastic Four again. It's just to get the details down.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Superman twice. I just watched it again last Thursday,
Yeah.
and it was kind of nice. When you're watching it for the second time, you just notice things that you didn't notice during the first watch, and it really just hits deeper, I'd say.
I would say yeah. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, nothing much new. Just spent a lot of time with family over the weekend.
You recently went to New York, right? That's where you went to New York.
Oh yeah, I went to New York for a week.
How was
Yeah,
that?
it was nice, but yeah, had a good time going to all the tourist places, looking around the city.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
See Spider-Man or no?
Yeah, I did see a Spider-Man. I got a Spider-Man costume.
All right. Well, small talk with me. A minute ago, when Justin said we went to rewatch the movie, yeah. So my car actually died the night we were gonna go see the movie, and the dude who I called for like a battery charge because my entire battery was dead in my car was 2 hours late. So I basically missed the entirety of the movie. But lucky enough, we were able to get some new tickets and rewatch the entire film. So now I actually have a general idea what Fantastic Four what it's like. But yeah, no, my car battery died, which was fun. But you know what? It's whatever. It happens. It happens and stuff. But yeah, no, that entire night I missed the entire movie. Everyone else went to go see it, but we went to go rewatch it. So it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot, though. I enjoy now having a fresh brain what the movie's like. But all right, guys, you guys ready to start the episode and talk about this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right, then. First thing we're gonna talk about is what you guys' thoughts of the film itself. I loved it personally. I loved it. I really like that movie. I want to be honest. I expected the movie to be kind of like, unique. Maybe not something like I like how the originals were or whatever. But I like this movie a lot. It did a good job, in my opinion. It did a good job.
Yeah, it's by far the best Fantastic Four live action adaptation we've seen, but honestly, that is a pretty low bar if we're talking about like the past three movies. If you've seen 2015's Fantastic, yeah.
It's fantastic.
But I feel like the first two did have some strong points, but the 2025 MCU movie definitely improved upon the first two movies back in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I really like how they isolated this installment from the rest of the MCU. I feel like there's definitely a lot of fatigue and serialization. You know, having to rewatch all of the shows on Disney Plus and all of the 20 plus movies to understand the next installment.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like producers are definitely being catch on to that. You know, no one's going to be watching all of those shows. I mean, there's definitely some good Disney Plus MCU shows, but
not all of them are
yeah,
bad.
I think,
honestly, not all of them are bad in my opinion. There are
yeah.
a few good ones, honestly.
And I definitely like the aesthetic they used in this. Like, they definitely tried to have more of a 60s feel. It's kind of like the Jetsons, or even like the Incredibles, you know, in with Pixar. You know, I'm gonna dive into that a bit more, but there are a lot of subtle, well, not even subtle, very blatant similarities with the Incredibles movie. And
a little bit,
just
a
heads up, we should probably have a disclaimer. There's going to be some spoilers in our discussion.
Right, yeah, no, spoilers.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to... We're not going to get to major spoilers, but definitely we're going to be talking about a few of them. But if you haven't seen the movie yet, go see it soon. But we're not going to try to get too much into it because the movie only came out, like, what, 4 days ago, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, like roughly like a couple days ago. So we're not going to do too much spoilers, but you're going to hear some spoilers. So... little FYI, but as you were saying, Ethan,
I wasn't really saying much else. I was just saying that that the movie is very similar to the Incredibles, like very specific similarities.
You keep saying that.
Like they even have.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Like I'll elaborate on that point. Like I mean, there's already some details just with the Fantastic Four in general. Like it's a family of four, just like in the Incredibles. One of them has touchy powers. One of them. Well, 5, I mean, yeah, both of them are 5 now, if you think about it, because they have a baby. I mean, there's a baby in both, so that's 5. And then you have a member of the family who has stretching powers, and you have a member of the family who turns invisible and uses force fields. So, and there's also a mole man for some reason. Like, that's one of their main villains. And they both place in the 60s, so... Yeah, those are some pretty
honestly. I didn't even
similarities right
honestly,
there.
now thinking about it, yeah, no, the Incredibles really are like Pixar's Disney's version of Fantastic Four. I didn't even think about that until now. Putting everything.
I mean,
together.
Disney owns both technically.
Yeah.
Owns both now.
Damn it! Oh my God, Ethan! You just blew my mind. Hold on.
Wait, does that mean that there's going to be a Galactus in the Incredibles universe? Imagine if the Incredibles are just a variant of the Fantastic Four.
What would be even the Galactus?
That's their first family.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I don't even know.
Justin, if you think about it, honestly, he's not wrong. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
the Incredibles really are Disney's version of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Huh. Now that I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee it. Alright, what about you, Justin? What's your thoughts about the Fantastic Four?
I felt very mixed after watching the movie.
Really?
You know? Yeah, but I think I want to leave that more for the next section we'll talk about.
Okay. So why don't we talk about some pros and cons of the movie? Because let's be honest, this movie is good, but it's not perfect. It's not a perfect film. I'm gonna say that. There are definitely some cons that can be discussed involving the movie, and some of my personal ones, and others could be. And I heard from others that it's more kind of like a lot of people have different mixed opinions involving the ending of the movie. But why you got here, Justin? Why don't you talk about first? What are some pros and cons you have involving Fantastic Four?
I thought it was
spoilers.
really...
Spoilers. I should mention spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it definitely broke the Fantastic Four curse, and it was a really good live adaptation of the film. But I feel like there's a lot of flaws in the script.
Really? The script, you say that's where the flaws are?
Yeah.
What part? What parts?
Um,
Not trying to get too much spoilers, but like if you need to go like very specific for it, go for it.
one thing is, I thought Galactus was a great villain for this movie,
Mm-hmm.
but a big problem I had with it is they didn't really give him that much screen time.
You feel like
And
Galactus wasn't used that much.
yeah, I wish they gave him more screen time and gave him more lines. Specifically, give him more lines, because I really thought the actor they hired for Galactus had a really cool voice
I
to
can't.
do the character.
God, what's his name? I know who you're talking about because he also did another movie called The Green Knight, which he did a fantastic job doing that one. But yeah, no, his voice, the actor who played Galactus was honestly perfect in my opinion. Perfect, dude. I couldn't picture a great example of what Galactus' voice could sound like. Fire, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah, and then my other flaws were I just uh the movie felt kind of generic to me. It didn't feel like
Really? It didn't feel
didn't
something
like
new?
I didn't feel like it had soul, or it felt like very different like how Superman was.
Okay, well,
Like
comparing those two together that's very hard to really compare to think about it. Because
Yeah.
I kind of disagree with you because I honestly I felt like they really gave a lot of love to this movie because the way the characters act one another, honestly, throughout the show. And let's be honest,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not hate Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I thought he did a
Neither did
great
I.
performance of
Yeah.
Reed Richards, honestly.
yeah, neither do I. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
It didn't feel like Thunderbolts.
I like the Thunderbolts and Superman more than I like
Fantastic Four.
this movie.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't mean this is a bad movie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's just something just felt. It just felt generic, and I wish we got more character development. Like I just didn't feel
Okay,
as
okay.
attached to the characters. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you have like the natural instinct to want Earth to be okay, but like you don't feel attached to anyone. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely agree with some of those points.
I
Like,
kind of,
especially
a
with
little bit.
with Galactus, I understand. Like they really did make him an intimidating villain. You're right about the voice acting being
Mhm,
stellar, but
mhm.
also the way they show his scale and
Who the
size.
hell-
Like
who
it
the
actually
hell-
felt like a Lovecraftian monster. You know, like Cthulhu. Like I actually kind of feel concerned. Like how are they gonna save Earth from that? You know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
at the same time, like, yeah, they definitely should have given him and all Silver Surfer more screen time. You know, like I really found Silver Surfer's story and like background interesting, but they didn't really give her much. You know, they didn't give her too many lines. I think they just showed one flashback where she was selected by Galactus to be a messenger, but they didn't really do much with her until her final sacrifice at the end. You know, pushing Galactus into the void. But yeah, they didn't really do much with her. But I will say for the main characters, like for Sue Storm, for Reed Richards, and for Johnny Storm, like all of them were done amazingly. And for the Thing, I think it's on par with the
Yeah, Elon Musk.
2000s movies. They definitely should have given him a bit more characterization, but it does seem like he already went through a lot of the growing pains they showed in the 2000s movies. Like in the 2000s movies, he's definitely trying to accept that he's a rock. You know, he loses his girlfriend at the time because of that revelation, but in the 2025 MCU movie, he's definitely more comfortable with his new life. Like he doesn't really like he's complaining about it at any point. He's just kind of like it is what it is.
Honestly, I was gonna say this. It's a little off topic. I figure out who played Galactus. His name is I'm gonna butcher the out of it. Is Ralph Leanson. I think I am Leanson. It is Lneson is his last name. I'm definitely saying so. I apologize. I'm terrible with names.
I kind of want to add one more con to this movie I have.
Huh.
Kind of building off a little bit what I think Ethan was saying a little bit is like how he said there wasn't enough time, it felt like, with the Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm. Julia
I
Garner.
felt like, yeah, I felt like the story was a bit rushed. Like they were
a little, yeah, a little.
Like the editing.
It was under
quick.
2 hours. I think
it's an hour.
Maybe 2 hours and
yeah.
20 minutes would have been fine. Like
it felt a little rushed. I would agree with you guys.
Yeah.
I would say this. A little sign of what Ethan said involving the Thing. I actually personally like it. Ebon Moss Bar Branch who plays the Thing in this new movie. I love him, honestly. I think he's great. And I actually personally, and this is me, I like that he's not fucking depressed in like every other project that he's in. Listen, I get it. The Thing life fucking sucks. I get it. But honestly, he's seen him, walking around town, being loved by everybody. The kids love him and shit. Seeing him actually like accepting the way that he is now a changed person to now this new look and everything, and people accept him. And then I like that he's in a world where people love him, even though he definitely hates the way he probably looks constantly. I love that he seems like he's more like a happy guy. I like that he's happy actually for once. I for once like.
But I do wish they had. I do wish they had more for him to develop in the plot, though. I think all they really showed is that he was trying to talk to a girl, but they didn't really go anywhere with that. With the rest of the Fantastic Four, there's clear arcs, but I didn't really see much development on this part. I just, I love the acting, he's a really, I feel like, I forgot his name.
Ebon Moss Bar Branch is his name.
I feel like he definitely played the character really well. I just wish they did more with the Thing. I know it's difficult, obviously. It's not like the rest of the human characters, but I just think I wouldn't say that the movie really has any major downsides, with what's already in there. I think the main problems I see are just the lack of what there could have been. Especially with Silver Surfer and to a lesser degree, the Thing. And I actually want to make a point about what Barry was saying. Like, he said that he thought the movie kind of lacked soul compared to Superman or the Thunderbolts. And I'd actually disagree with that to some extent.
I agree with you.
Because
there are some
even
parts
though,
that are like pretty good.
Yeah. I agree that Superman was definitely a bit better in that regard. Like, I definitely agree with that point, but there were some very empowering and wholesome messages throughout the movie. Like, the whole movie is about
family, basically.
A family overcoming their struggles, and all of the members of the family are competent and supporting each other, especially, Sue Storm and Reed Richards having a new baby amidst all of this chaos.
Looking
like they all stick together.
Little Franklin, dude.
It's not just the family too. The whole world sticks behind them. I mean, obviously they were a bit pissed off after Reed Richards told them, like, hey, like, Galactus would spare us if we gave our baby, but we didn't. Eventually, they convinced the whole world, like, no, we're in this together. And they build all these teleportation devices. And they literally have to give up their electricity at night. But
basically,
they're all in this together.
Yeah, they're all in this together, and they're working together to stop this threat.
And I feel like that's definitely what we need. That's the type of message we need at this time, where it feels like we're a lot more disconnected and polarized than ever. And it's good seeing that. I mean, obviously, 8-8 is a utopian society. Like, except for Latveria, everyone else is just kind of complying with what the Fantastic Four say and do. But it is kind of nice to see, a hopeful science fiction realm instead of the dystopias we keep seeing.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you if you guys noticed this throughout the movie after watching it. Do you guys feel like there were some parts missing, or some parts that were cut out in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
Definitely, yeah.
I know they have confirmed there are some parts that were cut out, but I feel like there's a lot more that was cut out in this movie, in my opinion.
yeah, like I heard recently that one part that was cut out that I would have loved to seen is apparently Vanessa Kirby, the actress that plays Sue Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came out and said that in the early days of filming, they actually filmed the scenes where Sue Storm and Mole Man became close with each other, and that's how they
yeah.
the peace treaty.
Honestly,
Like
that's probably one of my if I have to say my pros and cons. The pro, I would say, movie was entertaining as hell. The space part of the entire movie, probably the best fucking part of the entire movie. Them in space trying to fight the Silver Surfer, which probably was the coolest scene throughout, and probably the best scene throughout the entire movie, being part of, little spoiler, sorry, being part of a black hole, and then like using it to like get back home, which was insane. I love that entire part of the movie, but I agree. One of my cons is that not only this movie felt a little short, but and quick. I wish we saw them fought a different villain too. Honestly, like a side quest thing, you know? Get to see more time with them, not just Galactus. Like I would have loved to see John Malkovich, who was supposed to be in this movie, who played the Red something. He was I forgot this character and villain's name, but he was the one who controlled like the evil monkeys or whatever. Or yeah, like you said, like seeing a scene of like Sue talking to the Mole Man, who played by Paul Walker, Horser, and to see that, I would have loved to see way more screen time with them. That's one of my complaints. I felt like this movie was a little short, and I felt like I wish there would see more. We could have seen them like deal with the other villains instead of just Galactus. You know, that's what I wish we kind of dealt with or saw. Yeah. That's one of my complaints.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Because we kind of already talked about it like midway. Is this the best superhero film that's came out this year? Agree or disagree?
Disagree. It's a good movie. Superman is still better. I'd rank based on the superhero movies I've seen this year. I mean, I've seen 3. I'd put this in second place, in front of Thunderbolt and behind Superman.
So you say, okay. So you say Thunderbolts is better than Fantastic Four too. No,
I'm saying that Fantastic Four is better than Thunderbolts.
Oh,
but Superman is better than
you enjoyed Fantastic Four way more than Thunderbolts did.
Yeah, because I like Thunderbolts in the sense that it had the positive message about mental health, and it had a very different cinematography, different writing, but I feel like it was still kind of associated with the rest of the MCU. You know, it's still in the middle of a slump in quality, and even if the movie was good, you know, there wasn't a lot of enthusiasm around it, and because it still felt like, you know, one of those movies where you have to rewatch all of the shows and
do the homework
previous
to
movies
understand what's happening. I feel like kinda with Thunderbolts though, which I actually kind of like, is that you don't really need to do homework to know these characters, because in the movie it kind of explains who's who, so you don't really need to like figure out as you're watching this movie like who the hell is this. So that kind of gives you ideas of who these characters are, which I kind of like they did. But I agree. I can understand, because like definitely with like Fantastic Four, there's no homework. If you don't know them, the movie tells you. That's the one thing I like what Marvel should do in the future of every project when they're making a movie. Don't make us do homework, try to figure who these characters are. Just tell us, or give us a little tell us the homework in the movie. Like tell us like who these characters are, like a little backstory, and then we can get like an idea of who these characters are like and so on. What about you, Justin? You disagree too that this is not the best superhero movie that came out this year?
Yes, I disagree with that.
What's yours then?
And I slightly disagree with Ethan. I think Superman is still number one.
That's fair.
Then I go to Thunderbolts,
Oh, so
and
you're the
then
opposite. You're the opposite. You like Thunderbolts way more than Fantastic Four.
uh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and then it goes Fantastic Four, and then it goes Captain America. I think
Which
that's
one?
all the
Which one?
Brave New World.
You like Brave New World?
No, I
Honestly.
said
Oh wait, actually, I forgot to account for that one.
Honestly,
I put the Brave New World in fourth place as well.
I don't hate Brave New World. Stupid story, but it was still fun to watch. I enjoyed how dumb it was, honestly.
yeah, I
I
have
don't
it.
know.
I have Brave New World in fourth place
Mhm.
for this year, but yeah, but I still think by far Superman is
The best. Okay, so
the
Fantastic
best.
Four. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, that was quick. What are some ideas do you think Marvel is going to have in the for their future plan? Like, what do you think is gonna like happen now? Because from what I remember or heard, that we're gonna get Punisher's little spin-off show, season 2 Daredevil, and Wonder Man, and then Spider Man like the next year. So, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen? Like, what are you guys some ideas of what you think is gonna happen for Marvel in the future?
Yeah, I did have a theory with Spider-Man. I think this is after we
Shit.
watched Thunderbolts. I thought about this because there was this spoilers for Thunderbolts. Just to be clear,
Yeah.
major. Yeah, I'd say more major because the climax. But we have Sentry slash the Void. Pretty much taking over New York City with his nightmare realm. Sending
Yeah, the
everyone
Void Realm.
in the city to the Void Realm. And I'm thinking, what if he sends MJ and Ned into the Nightmare Realm, and they actually see Peter Parker?
They see Spider. They see Spider Man. Is that how you think they're gonna
Yeah,
get
they
the memories
see.
back?
Yeah, because it makes a lot of sense in some way. Well, I don't exactly know the ramifications of the spell that Doctor Strange ordered, but I feel like if we're going to reintroduce Spider-Man as Peter Parker to MJ and Ned, which we all know is going to happen. Obviously, we
I
all
hope
know
later. I honestly hope later.
MJ is
I'm
gonna.
not hoping this next
Yeah,
film. I'm hoping
it's
later.
pretty much. It's a question of. It's not a question of. If it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen because we already know. Yeah, they're gonna get together
Again, yeah.
eventually. But
Ned and MJ are gonna come
yeah,
back to
again.
Peter's life.
But I think this is a possible way they could re-enter.
Maybe.
Because it connects them to the MCU, but a bit more of a. It's not as like as excessive as all of Spider-Man's villains being just as of Tony Stark, which I really look forward to. With the next movie, they're not doing that. They're trying to make it more of a street level standalone movie,
Which I am
and hopefully
so happy.
I really hope they bring back Scorpion. He was played by the same actor who played Nacho in Better Call Saul.
He did not.
And honestly,
Best character.
I really hope they
best character
bring him
in
back
Better Call
somehow.
Saul. Best character. I hope too. I hope they bring
Because
they bring Scorpion
they
back.
had that after credits. They had that after credits scene like 8 years ago, and they've done nothing with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
in Homecoming. Yeah.
they have so many after credits scenes in MCU now that just lead nowhere. Like you see the one with Eternals, the one with
Ant-Man with Kang, yeah.
Ant-Man Quantumania. Even the one in Shang-Chi, like what are they doing with the 10 rings?
I have no idea. Who knows, dog? Who knows? What about you, Justin? You got any like theories or any like thoughts of what's gonna happen in Marvel's future? Because I got a crazy theory for you guys when you're done talking, Justin.
I got two theories.
Shit.
So my first theory is I think them seeing the success of the Fantastic Four doing box office wise, I think they're gonna make Marvel movies shorter going forward.
Oh, it
And I
depends.
hate to say it, but I think that's what they're gonna do.
Maybe. Honestly, probably not, because I think. Okay, if I don't know for sure, if Thunderbolts definitely made more than Fantastic Four, they're gonna stick with the length problem. But any other theories you got?
And then my second theory is for the mid-credit scene, from the scene that we saw with Franklin Richards and Doctor Doom.
Oh, right. So, yeah. Spoilers. But in the end of the movie, which I'm glad that you brought that up, we finally get to see Doctor Doom. Not exactly. You know, we see his back with his green little cloak, holding his mask with one hand and looking at little baby Franklin and right next to him. So yes, now Doctor Doom is finally now canon in the MCU. If they are definitely going to continue this. But what's your theory involving that?
So my theory is, I think because we see Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four universe at the mid-credit scene, post-mid-credit scene, I think Avengers Doomsday, the movie's going to start off in the 828 universe.
You start the Fantastic Four universe.
With Franklin Richards and Doctor Doom.
Okay.
Like we see in the Fantastic Four movie. And we're going to see Doom turn around or something, and we'll see it's Doom's face.
See, yeah.
And then something like Doom and Sue's gonna argue, and Doom is gonna kidnap Franklin, and that's somehow gonna take him to the 616 universe. So that's just my theory.
Okay. You guys want to hear? My crazy theory is that I got one too. Speaking of Doom, because we're gonna be seeing. I agree with you. That's probably it. That scene we saw, and including Thunderbolts, those two are probably like the beginning of Doomsday. I agree with you. That's probably where it begins. The end. So you think it's gonna start in Fantastic Universe? Is where the movie's gonna start?
Yeah, in the 828 universe.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right. Interesting. Okay, here's my crazy theory. So this has been going around a lot, and I heard about it recently, and I want your guys' thoughts on it. Now, this theory is about RDJ playing Doctor Doom, and this is more of a crazy little theory that's been kind of spread around, and I want your guys' thoughts and opinions about it. Where this entire time, Tony Stark from our universe is actually a variant of Doctor Doom. Let me explain. So, in the beginning of the movie, and in comics before, it's been told that Tony was always been adopted into the family of the Starks. Because originally, the original baby that both Tony's parents had died. So, Tony Stark was always been adopted into the family. And, of course, Tony's dad knew that this child that he have is bright and extremely intelligent, thinking, okay, perfect, I can work with this, and my son can, pursue my future and my plans and so on and so forth. So the theory is set out that when Kang, or the one from the Loki series, He Who Remains, created the, little time circle bubble that was used to create the timeline for the main MCU and so on, because the whole idea is that in that universe, because Tony heard his dad when he first met the first time in, I think it was Endgame, I believe, when they did the time travel shit, he was a little shocked when he heard that his wife was in labor, because Tony always assumed that he was adopted into the family. So, the crazy theory is that in this universe, Doctor Doom was such an evil threat to Kang and every other Kang that exists, including the ones in the Council of Kangs and stuff. They made a universe where Doctor Doom was never born or never brought into the picture. So instead, Tony gets adopted by the Stark family, or I guess Victor gets adopted by the Stark family, becomes Tony Stark, still is Doctor Doom, but instead he's more Iron Man, a heroic hero instead of a dictating, murdering villain. So my head theory is that now Kang the Conqueror is dead because Loki killed him, and same thing with Ant-Man, because they both killed Kang, right? My thoughts is that now that Kang's dead, including he who remains is dead too, and now Loki's now the main controller of the multiverse timelines, Doom is now finally free from his prison, and now he can go out, do what he wants, become God, build Battleworld. But yeah, no, my little head theory is that Tony Stark has been this entire time has always been a Doctor Doom variant. What you guys' thoughts on that?
Actually, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Right?
We're looking at the.
I heard it the first time.
That just reminds me of the. That reminds me of the Spider-Verse logic. Like, let me elaborate on that. Like, okay, again, sorry, spoilers again for Across the Spider-Verse.
If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, that's on you. You haven't seen it, that's on you, kind of.
But basically, it's revealed that Miles Morales was supposed to become the Prowler. You know, and because he got bitten by a radioactive spider from a different universe, and he gets sent to that universe when he wants to go back, you know, through the teleportation machine, because his DNA is connected to the universe with the universe that the spider originally came from. So in that universe, Miles Morales never got bitten by a spider, so he becomes the Prowler, pretty much. And it's just interesting how just one change in the canon events, you know, maybe even like a butterfly effect, let's say, it just creates such a different timeline. And I feel like we could definitely see the same logic applying with Tony Stark becoming Doctor Doom. And you already specified that, you know, he was adopted. It was suggested that Tony Stark was adopted.
It's never been confirmed.
The Stark family.
Yeah, it's never been confirmed. But there has been some comic versions where he has been adopted. But the idea is that Victor Von Doom has been adopted by the Stark family in the MCU, making him not turn into Doctor Doom, but instead Iron Man. You know, making it where Doctor Doom never existed because he was such a deadly, powerful foe. But yeah, back to saying if we're sticking with Spider-Man logic, right? Because Marvel has already confirmed the fact that variants who are just, you know, another version of you can look different. An example would be obviously Spider-Man and also Loki. You're going to count him too. There are some variants that
but also
look
Reed
like
Richards
you.
too.
Reed Richards and Doctor Strange. I can keep going. Yeah, there's variants
Even,
where you look like you, or they
Torch
look
well,
nothing like you at all. So yeah, no, Marvel has confirmed the fact that people can look different or the same, but be different people.
I actually want to elaborate on that theory a bit more because, you know, as we know from the comics, Reed Richards and Doctor Doom were classmates in university.
That's true.
And, you know, they both have a lot of similarities. You know, they're both very smart, rich people. And Tony Stark fills into that category as well. So imagine if Tony Stark met Reed Richards in university. Imagine if they have that set up in the MCU.
If Reed Richards did exist in the MCU, which I don't think he does. I don't think the Fantastic Four does exist because there's no Doctor Doom. So why would you need a Fantastic Four?
I mean, yeah, the Fantastic Four wouldn't exist, but all about the variants of the individual members could still exist. There could still be a Reed Richards in the universe. He's just not Mr. Fantastic.
It could be Tony, yeah, right. Like, it could be like how we don't have, like, you know, a captain like Sue Storm, or we don't have a strong warrior like Ben, or we don't have the Human Torch, like all that stuff. Yeah, but like you said, because there is no Doctor Doom, there still can be a spread out of evil and so on. But but I like my theory, because, like, you know, it kind of gets me thinking, like, shit. So I mean, does this mean this entire time, which honestly they could just change the continuity of it, because fuck it, that the Tony Stark we knew has always been Doctor Doom? Now that would be a crazy fucking idea come to life. That would be crazy, I would say. My God, that would be insane. What about you, Justin?
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, dude, that would be a sixth area.
I know for a fact that one of our close friends, we won't say who, but he would hate it by a passion. And if you two know who exactly I'm talking about, he would hate that theory so much. But yeah, all right then. Let's move on to the next topic real quick, since I don't want to waste too much time with you guys. Let's talk about the soundtrack of the movie. The soundtrack was made by Michael Giacchio, who, my God, let's be honest, the soundtrack of that movie was phenomenal. Let's be honest, that it was.
Yeah,
I could quite say fantastic.
My granny called. She said, "Travis, you work too hard. I'm worried you forget about me."
It might even be legendary, honestly.
I love it, dude. Hearing the Fantastic Four, I love all of that shit, dude. The movie's music was phenomenal. Soundtrack by Michael Giacchio did a fantastic job.
I think it's gonna be iconic because like now every time I think of Fantastic Four, I think of those singers, singing Fantastic Four.
Can I interrupt real quick and can I rant about this real quick with you boys real quick? I want more superhero movies more superhero movies to have their own soundtrack. Like there was Superman, Thunderbolts, and even Spider-Man, and including Fantastic Four that came out recently. Legit, I love when superhero movies have their own music. I think that what makes the movie better if it has its own theme to it, so people can remember the theme of it. I love those. I love movies when they do that stuff. Like I think superhero movies or any like comic book or whatever type of film should have their own theme song to it. I would love when movies do that. I love when they do that stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, do you guys agree? Do you think the music in that movie was phenomenal?
I thought it was okay.
Really? Well, okay. Here, we'll do a little test. Would you guys say Superman's music or Fantastic Four's music's better?
I think Superman, just based on some music that's used throughout the movie, but and also, I mean, it's a bit more iconic in a way. Like I remember both scores, but I feel like Superman's just a bit more majestic. Like it's more closely tied to the character. But both are amazing, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. Now, how would you guys compare to the OG films from this new Fantastic Four film, like the original 2000s ones and 2015? Would you guys say this movie is better than all of them, or for sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I love the way they did the Thing in this new future. I agree with Ethan, and when we talked about it like a minute ago, that Ben did not get enough screen time. I agree. I would love to have more screen time with him, but I like that he's just happy for once in his life. Because, my God, being the Thing would probably be the most miserable life you'll ever have. You are constantly fighting. Your entire body is like rock and shit. And honestly, dude, you can't feel anything. That sounds like hell, honestly. That sounds like hell, and I'm good. So, honestly, I'm very happy that for once they gave the guy a break. Also,
I felt like I wish they given more. I wish we could have seen more of Mr. Fantastic stretching powers.
Yeah. No, that's another thing.
He didn't get enough of his stretching powers.
I want to see more of Pedro being his stretchies. Like I think we saw an end credit scene where so we saw this last night. His face was being pulled by his kid. Like I want to see I would love to see Pedro's character, Mr. Fantastic, using his stretchy powers. I want to see more of that. Yeah, I agree. I would have loved to see more of him, like stretching his arms, twisting his body, or doing weird shit to his body or whatever. I would love to see that. I agree with you, Justin. I would love to see more of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think I like Joseph Quinn's Human Torch than the other two. I'm gonna be honest. I think
Yeah, for sure.
perfect.
I mean, I like Chris Evans' performance, but I feel like the most recent performance in this movie, like it's a lot more balanced because I feel like I get Human Torch is supposed to be a hot shot,
the goofball, the goofball of the show,
the goofball, but in this movie, like they still show that he's still a genius. You know, everyone in the Fantastic Four, like they're all NASA astronauts. Like everyone can carry their weight. Everyone's a genius. I mean, Reed Richards is the smartest, obviously, but everyone there is brilliant. You know,
like dude, let's be honest. Even though it was a funny bit, him being so dedicated to the hook up with a space baddie to learn her language is insane, dude. But honestly, what a clutch in the end too. I love.
Yeah, he came in clutch for sure.
I love that even though all three of them think he's an idiot, when Johnny actually puts the time in, he's honestly not that stupid. He just chooses to be stupid, which I love that he does that for himself. I want to be honest, dude. When I heard the announcement when Joseph Quinn was gonna play Human Torch, I was a little iffy at first, but now after watching his performance, perfect. Honestly, I cannot wait for him and Spider-Man have a conversation. I cannot wait for those two to meet up. Like that's gonna be such a fun ride to get into. I cannot wait to see more of the Fantastic Four. I love all four of them. I'm gonna be honest. I think all four of them did a great job. I think Vanessa Kirby did a great performance playing Sue. I think she did a great job. Honestly, I love how much of a leader she can be in this entire movie. Pedro really brought the character into light. I like how he acts kind of like robotic. You know, I liked how the way he was performing his character. I like that a lot. Same with Ben and Johnny. I think seeing those two hanging out, always messing around with each other and being close and best friends, I thought was honestly awesome. But I would love to see more of those two perform. But yeah, no, movie was great. Honestly, I say movie was great, better than the 03 completely. Definitely surpassed them. I say personally. All right, now final question for you guys. If you guys can give a score to this movie from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, what would you guys' score be and why?
8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I would say 7 out of 10.
Okay. Why those numbers?
Yeah, so I could start. So I'd say, overall, the movie delivers on a lot of its premises, and I feel like the main issues I had with the movie weren't with what was in the movie, but what it could have been. Specifically with how they could have developed the Thing and Silver Surfer a bit more. And also, I just wanted to see a bit more scenes with Galactus as well. I know in the comics, he's not really that complex of a villain. He's just pretty much just there to devour planets.
Yeah, his whole existence is to eat, pretty much.
It would have been cool to see more scenes with him at least. Have more lines, because it's still. I feel like that was one of the strong points, actually, showing the scale, a much better adaptation of Galactus than the Silver Surfer movie, the 2000s, because he was pretty much just a black hole.
Yeah, was he just a cloud or something?
Yeah, he was just a cloud. Yeah.
And now, I'm glad they finally brought it to live action. So, Justin, what about you?
I give it a 7 because I think out of how I see it on my movie scale, it was a good movie. It wasn't a really good movie like Thunderbolts was, and it wasn't a great movie like Superman was. I think it got its flaws. I would like to see Galactus more and see him having more lines. I would have liked to see more character development. I thought they did a good job with character development, but I felt like I didn't feel as emotionally attached to them.
Compared to like the Thunderbolts, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in Thunderbolts, like they all start off with kind of like you not feeling anything towards them, but by the end of the movie, you're like attached to them. I just didn't feel the same way with this movie necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
But
I'm the same boat with Ethan. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I still think Thunderbolts and Superman are better, but overall, I still had a great time watching this movie. I had a great time. Okay then, boys. Yeah. And then we got all the topics done. You guys ready to call it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then. All right. Well, thank you for coming to the first episode of the Mandess Trilogy Show, or MTS for short. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of our content, we'll try to post this more often. We still trying to figure itself out. We generally just started, so we don't know what we're doing. But thanks you for staying by and make it to the end of the video. So we appreciate that, and thank you all for your love and support. Until then, podcast out.